morning, everybody. Welcome to Father and Son Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tristan Lewis. This is my co-host, Evan Lewis.
I'm the host.
I'm the host. You're the co-host, remember?
No. I'm the host.
You're going to find that throughout the show we disagree on a few things, but for the most part, we get along and we like to talk sports. All right. So before we get started here, I think take a quick moment to recognize the tragic passing of Demaryius Thomas the other day. Way too young, great football player. Obviously, we're down here in San Diego, so a lot of rivalry years with Demaryius and the Broncos and the Chargers, who don't really cheer for anymore. We're Vikings fans in this household for the most part. I'm from Minnesota. But very tragic, just too young. Wanted to, put that out there. By the way, I have a Super Bowl mug from when the Chargers got shellacked by the 49ers back in '94, I think it was. Do you remember that?
I wasn't born.
Yeah, you weren't born, that's right. Okay, so today's football. Real quick, shout out to the Minnesota Wild. I think they lost last night, but right now, they're the best team in hockey. Way to go, Wild. All right, so I say we dive right into fantasy football.
Yeah, sure.
Got a big week, pretty close to the end of the season here in this illustrious experimental 17-game season, which is awesome. And let's just, real quick, let's talk about our two main teams. I play in a few teams, but I have two main teams I've been playing in for years. Evan's been in two leagues as well. One of them is our family league, and another one is a league that he started up on Yahoo. Evan, get back on camera. How old are you?
10.
Yeah, so my 10-year-old son plays fantasy football, and that is my fault, but it's all good. So anyway, my two leagues. One league I had the first pick, just kind of a recap of the season. I went with Delvin Cook, first pick. Second pick was Josh Allen, that's right, thank you. And then Darren Waller. I'm about to be 11-3 in that league, so looking good. Delvin Cook was the right pick to make. Thank you, Mr. Cook. My other league didn't work out so well. I went Zeke, Tyreek, and Lamar, and just hasn't been a great season for them. How about you, Evan? How's your two leagues going? Speak into the microphone.
My first three were, I had the last pick, so I had two in a row. I had Barkley, Kelsey, and Jefferson. And then in the other league, I had Hill, Metcalf, and Allen. And in the first one, I am in fourth, 7-6, and in the other one, I'm 9-4 in first and clinch the playoffs.
All right, so not bad.
Yeah.
What's this week looking for you? We were just talking about tight ends, actually. I've got Darren Waller out. I had to hit the waiver wire. You were talking about Austin Hooper. I went for Komet. I'm going to start him this week.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of run.
David Njoku is doubtful, and Harrison Bryant is out, so Austin Hooper would be a pretty okay start because he is the number one tight end on that team for this week against the Ravens.
Hooper's good.
Yeah.
I'm going off of feel. My son's got his computer and all his statistics out here, and I consult him, but I'm more of a field player at this point. A little too busy to be doing all the research that I used to do, but I'm just feeling Komet this week. And Sunday night game, Packers Bears. I want to have a horse in that race to I don't need an excuse to cheer against the Packers, but having Komet in that game is going to be make it a little funner for myself.
Yeah, so in one league I have Daryl Henderson, who is on the COVID-19 list right now because he is sick and it may have to do with COVID. And DeAndre Swift is also out again for the second straight week.
Yeah, that one hurt a lot of leagues.
Yeah.
It's been a bloodbath for running backs this year.
Yeah, so how about another position? I'll go over my top 10 in quarterbacks.
All right, top 10 in quarterbacks.
Okay,
Let's hear it. Don't be surprised if I disagree with you on one or two.
At number 10, I have Jalen Hurts. He hasn't been good when it comes to like actually throwing the ball. He's only thrown for 2,435 yards, and only has 211 completions out of 351, with only 13 touchdowns. But he does lead all QBs with 8 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
and he's one of the fastest players in the league. He's high in fantasy.
Definitely a breakout year for Hurts.
Yeah.
I like him. He's got a great arm too. He's going to need some wide receivers in Philly.
Yeah, he would be a good start, but then if you have somebody like Lamar Jackson or somebody like that, and Hurts was your backup quarterback, which is pretty likely, then...
Well, funny enough, in my league where I'm about to be eliminated, I'm starting Lamar, and I do have Jalen for a backup. Like I said, it's been an up and down season. But, I drafted Lamar. I'm sticking with Lamar. And as long as I beat the guy I'm playing by 70 points, I could nab that 6th playoff spot.
And another guy who had a breakout year was my number 9, who was Joe Bullo. And through 11 games, he has a QB rating of 98.3. He has 259 completions, 3,135 yards, and 23 touchdowns.
Love it. Burrow's the man.
But he's thrown 14 picks, and that's why I had to lower him down, because he leads the league in throwing interceptions.
Yeah, so, he's been up and down. But
yeah, he's like the opposite of Hurts, as he's more of a passing quarterback than running.
He is the real deal, though, and he's got some great offensive weapons in Cincy. I like Burrow for the future.
Yeah.
Their season's kind of been like the Vikings' defense season. They just give up too many big games on the other end of the ball.
Yeah, and then my number 8 is Lamar Jackson. He's just he's struggled quite a bit the last few games.
Lamar, the picks, man, the picks.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a high QB rating at 86.8. Only played 10 games, and he's only thrown 16 touchdowns. But he does lead all QBs with 762 rush yards.
That's why we love him. His game is amazing.
Yeah. So I still had to put him in there. It was pretty tough where to rank him, though. He's disappointed quite a bit, and same with Josh Allen at number 7. He's dropped down his game a bit, which was kind of expected because he obviously had a really amazing fantasy year last year. He played 12 games this year so far. He has a QB rating of 97.5, and he's thrown for 3,216 yards on 26 touchdowns. So still a really good year for Allen, but when you're basing it off of this year, he's not the number one quarterback anymore.
He's the man. He's definitely taken a step back though. But
yeah, that
I'll say this:
windy game.
it's hard to throw in 55-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, especially I was surprised he even reached 11 points.
Yeah. And considering the fact that Mac Jones got off 2 passes that whole game, I'd say Josh Allen.
Jones scored 1 fantasy point.
That guy's Superman. He's. I don't understand why he hasn't had the better season. I mean, maybe they've been able to pick up Steph Diggs a little bit better on defense because, really, Buffalo still has no running game for the most part. So yeah, I like Josh Allen in that spot for this season.
Yeah, I think he would rate higher if you consider this year and last year, but
yeah, he could be number 1.
Yeah, because it's just, if I'm just talking about this year, Allen is my number 7, and Mahomes is number 6 for me. He has a pretty low QB rating so far this year, only 92.4. He's thrown for 3,384 yards though, and he's thrown for 25 touchdowns. So he's another guy that's taken a lot of steps down. He's thrown 12 picks or something this year, but he's still obviously one of the better QBs in the league because he's, Patrick Mahomes, and he threw 50 touchdowns in 1 year.
Yeah, and it's definitely affected Tyreek's season, darn it.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, Mahomes, another Superman who took a slight step back this year.
Yeah. And then when you're basing it off of this year, I put Kirk Cousins at number 5.
Woohoo! Captain Kirk.
Let's
pause right there. What a game! What a game last Thursday. I mean, the Vikings defense almost gave up another one, but Captain Kirk has been weathering the storm. What a season, Kirk! We doubt you because we're Vikings fans. That's what we do. We doubt the Vikings year in and year out. It's not necessarily Captain Kirk's fault, but what a show he's been putting on. He deserves that ranking. All right, continue on.
Yeah,
beat the Steelers was sweet.
From a fantasy standpoint, his last game wasn't great, but when you look over it, he has the best touchdown to interception ratio in the league.
He's throwing 2 touchdowns a game every game.
He has a quarterback
Except
rating
one, I think.
of 103.5, one of the best in the league.
That's getting it done.
He's thrown for 3,569 yards, which is 4th as of now in the league, and he's thrown for 27 touchdowns, which is tied for Justin Herbert as of now for 3rd in NFL.
What's that jersey you got on there?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah, season to be remembered. Justin Jefferson, man.
Yeah, right now he has a 20 on my league, so he scored 20 points this week.
My Osborne flex play worked out quite well too. Almost had another one.
That 62-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that was sweet.
And number 4 is actually
Captain Kirk.
Number 4 is actually Matt Stafford. He's through 12 games this year.
That's cool. No, that's cool.
He has a 106.3, second best in the league QB rating.
Stafford has had a career rejuvenation. Happy for him. Way to get out of Detroit and get it done in L.A.
He's thrown for 3,611 yards, also second in the NFL.
Yeah,
and
making Cooper Kupp the surprise fantasy wideout of the year.
He's thrown for 30 touchdowns. That's also second in the NFL, as well as an average of 8.2 yards.
He's thrown for 30 already?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 3rd in yards per attempt, and I believe 3rd in pass yards per game as
Who do the Rams play today?
They are playing on Monday against the Cardinals, so that's going to be a really, really good game.
Man, we got Bears, Packers Sunday night, Rams, Cardinals Monday night. That's going to be awesome.
And speaking of the Cardinals, I have Kyler Murray at number 3, and he's only played 9 games, but on average, he has the best QB rating at 112.2, and he averages 8.9 yards per attempt. That is also the best in the league. So, if he could just stay healthy, then he would be at the top of the list right now. But because he can't stay healthy, he's number 3.
Yeah, I like that too because, coming back from that injury and looking as dynamic as he did, you got to put him right back in there in the rankings. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, I took Murray and I benched him because I didn't trust him because he was coming off an injury, and then, well, that's when he scored, 30 points?
So you got 2 quarterbacks left on that list.
Yeah.
I can kind of guess who they are, but let's hear it. Roll it out.
So number 2, I have Justin Herbert, and
whoa, that's cool. I love the guy.
The reason why is because he's coming off a great game. He has a QB rating of 98.2. He's averaging 295.6 pass yards per game, and he's thrown 27 touchdowns. And, well, by the end of today, that could be, 30. So
he's a beast. I mean, he's the future. You look at somebody who's as great as Joe Burrow and his future in Cincinnati, and you look at somebody as great as Kyler Murray and their future. I'll take Herbert. The guy is a beast, and he's got an arm like Peyton Manning, but he runs like, not quite Cam Newton, but he's a big guy, and he can run too. He's awesome.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, cool.
He's a complete player.
Number 1.
You can probably guess. It's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Tom Brady.
Tommy Beautiful.
Really, you can't really argue on it.
Can't hate.
Because his QB rating is 104. That is, I believe, the 3rd best in the league. He is number 1 in passing yards with 3,771. And he's thrown for 34 touchdowns. That's the most in the league as well. So he leads the league in yards and touchdowns. And pass yards per game at 314.3. And completions with 347.
He's as old as I am. How does he do it? It's amazing. But let's just do a discount double check real quick. I noticed there's a name that doesn't appear on your list. Would that be Aaron Rodgers? Well, sorry, Rodgers, you didn't make the list. What a bummer. All right, there you have it. Top 10 quarterbacks. I dig it. I agree with all of those.
Yeah.
You're throwing a lot of love on Herbert there. But that's cool, and I love leaving Aaron Rodgers. We'll call him number 11 right now. So.
Yeah, he's number 11. And I would actually put Dak Prescott at number 12 and Derek Carr at number 13. Carr's actually been really good this year. He's had some good last few games, so.
Right. Okay, I agree with that. All right, so let's get close to wrapping it up here. We got some games to get ready for.
Yep.
Let's do our game of the week. I'll start out. So my game of the week is going to be Bills Bucks. I mean, getting that loss to the Patriots for the Bills last week and opening up the playoff race again in the AFC. This is a huge game for the Bills, their season. Josh Allen has to lead that team over Tom Brady to get the faith back in Buffalo. Big game, big stakes on the line for that one.
Yeah.
2 quarterbacks who, Josh Allen to me was the quarterback of last year, and he can put himself back in that category if he gets a win over the GOAT this week. So that's my game of the week. What about you?
My game of the week I think would actually be the Monday game. Rams Cardinals. I think that's going to be another big rivalry. 2 teams who could lead their division to being the top of it. obviously the Cardinals are the best team in the league right now. Murray and Stafford, two great quarterbacks. I think it's going to be a big battle. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and we need the Cardinals to beat the Rams for the Vikings' chances in the playoff race.
Well,
so
we just need the 49ers and Washington to lose.
Yeah, too bad they can't all lose.
Yeah. So, another big game is Baltimore and Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. And the Chiefs and the Raiders will also be a big one, even though no Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow would be a good fantasy start, you know?
Yeah, I might stick him in a couple of DraftKings lineups here.
Yeah, and I just hope that Tyreek Hill isn't gonna score 3 fantasy points again.
Yeah, I need Tyreek Hill to put up at least 30. 40 would be nice. 50 would be grand. Because, like I said, in one of my leagues, I'm down by about 70 points to a guy that I got to beat to nab a playoff spot there. But we'll see. That's football for you. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Any finishing thoughts there? I'm sure you got plenty to say.
No, not really. Not right now. I think we've touched on most of the matchups. Like, there's also, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Seattle, Houston, Dallas, and the football team. But, really, I think that's it.
Exciting season for the football team. That's been fun to watch. Heineke and Antonio Gibson.
But they better lose.
Yeah, they kind of got to lose. They're a good squad, though. I like Terry McLaurin's ball skills. All right, man. Well, hey, I guess that does it for the inaugural episode of Father-Son Sports Talk. Once again, I'm your host, Tristan Lures. This is my co-host, Evan. Whatever. We'll work out who's running the show here in the later episodes. All right, everybody. Happy holidays and happy fantasy footballing. All right, go Vikings. Good show.